Welcome to my channel, The Stoic Way. If you're tired of guessing what she wants, if you've ever felt that magnetic pull but couldn't quite read her, stay with me because today I'm revealing truths most men will never notice. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like because the insights I'm about to share will change the way you see women forever. Have you ever noticed how she looks at you? Not with a casual glance, but with an intensity that lingers longer than necessary. That subtle, almost guilty look she tries to hide. Most men dismiss it, thinking it's nothing. But this is the first hidden sign. Her eyes. Eyes aren't lying. When a woman wants to give herself to you, she studies you in ways that feel accidental but are deliberate. She notices the small details about you, how your hand moves when you talk, the way your smile changes when you're amused, and she stores every fragment of it in her mind. This isn't casual interest. It's a silent declaration of desire she won't voice aloud. The second sign is her tone. Have you ever heard her voice drop slightly when she's around you? Or maybe it softens, becomes more melodic, more vulnerable. Men often think it's just flirting, but it's deeper than that. That tone is a subconscious invitation, a way of saying, I want to be closer, but I can't say it. Women are masters at concealing what they truly feel, especially desire. If you're attentive, you'll catch the micro changes in her speech, the pause before she answers, the warmth behind her words. These are the signals she sends when she's conflicted, but drawn to you. Then there's her touch, or the near touch. Notice when she brushes your arm, lingers near you, or accidentally touches your shoulder. That's her body betraying her mind. She's giving pieces of herself in ways she believes you won't notice. It's subtle, but it's real. The closer she gets physically, even in small, seemingly innocent gestures, the more it signals her willingness to cross the threshold of intimacy, but only if she trusts you enough to interpret it. By the time a woman reaches this stage, her mind is a battlefield between desire and restraint. She wants to surrender, but social rules, self-image, or fear of judgment make her silent. Recognizing these first signs is not about playing a game. It's about seeing what most men miss. She's leaving breadcrumbs, tiny confessions in her gaze, her tone, her touch for a man wise enough to notice. Now, let's talk about the way she communicates with you, her messages, her laughter, the little things she shares. A woman who wants to give herself but won't say it directly will find ways to reveal herself in the gray spaces between words. It's in the late-night texts that seem casual but linger longer than necessary, the jokes that feel personal, as if she's testing whether you understand her deeper self. She's sharing pieces of her inner world carefully, like a precious secret. If you ignore these, you'll never see the truth hidden behind her restraint. Another powerful sign is the way she mirrors you. When she subtly copies your gestures, your posture, your pace of speech, it's not coincidence. It's attraction and a subconscious attempt to connect. She's syncing with you, trying to become familiar, to align herself with your energy, without openly admitting how strongly she feels. Most men overlook this because it's invisible unless you're looking carefully, but it's one of the most revealing indicators of desire. She's too cautious to voice. Then there's her defensiveness, or what seems like teasing. She might mock something you say, but there's a playful edge, a spark that hides vulnerability. This is her testing the waters. She's daring you to see through her mask, to recognize her longing. Beneath the teasing. A woman who truly desires connection will hide it under humor or subtle provocation, making it a challenge for you to uncover. If you respond correctly, gently, attentively, without pushing, she'll gradually reveal more of herself bit by bit. Her friend's behavior is another clue many men miss. Notice how her friends glance at you when she's around, how they smirk or tease her subtly. Women often communicate their feelings indirectly through social cues. If she's secretly drawn to you, her social circle becomes an unspoken lens into her desire. You can learn more about her feelings by observing these interactions than by waiting for her to state them outright. Finally, pay attention to her availability, not just in terms of time, but emotional space. She'll make small sacrifices, reschedule plans, linger when she could leave, adjust her comfort level to maintain connection with you. These are invisible acts of commitment, signs she's willing to bridge the distance emotionally, even if she's not ready to vocalize her desires. Recognizing these signs requires patience and perception. Women who want to give themselves are often silent, cautious, and strategic. But if you learn to read the patterns, the energy, the subtleties, you'll discover a hidden truth. She's waiting for a man who sees her without needing her to speak. She's leaving pieces of herself in every glance, touch, laugh, and hesitation. It's there. You just have to notice it. Now let's go even deeper into the invisible language she uses, the small, almost imperceptible behaviors that scream desire even when her lips stay sealed. One of the most overlooked signals is her laughter. Real, genuine laughter is easy to fake, but the laughter that comes from her being around you, it's different. It's softer, sometimes nervous, always attentive. She laughs in a way that draws you in, that creates a private world between the two of you. Even if everyone else sees only a casual interaction, that laughter is a signal she's opening a door to her inner self, but wants you to earn the right to step through it. Another hidden sign is the way she remembers your smallest details, the things you casually mention and forget. Maybe you once said you like a certain kind of music, a favorite drink, or a random memory from childhood. She stores it not consciously to manipulate, but because her mind has decided you're worth noticing. When she brings these details back to you, it's more than attention. It's longing. She's revealing that she values you enough to carry traces of you with her, even when she never says, "I want you." Notice her body language when she's around you, especially in the quiet moments. The slight tilt of her head, the gentle lean toward you during conversation, the subtle change in her breathing during moments that seem ordinary. These are signs of attraction she chooses not to name out loud. She's observing. She's testing. And if you can look beyond words, if you can read the signals she assumes you'll overlook, the closer she moves without speaking, the more undeniable the truth becomes. Then there's the way she acts when she thinks you're not watching. Does she glance at you when she thinks you won't notice? Does her posture relax when she's alone with you? These fleeting moments, almost invisible to anyone else, reveal her true feelings. Women are often trained to hide desire, to be cautious about exposing themselves too soon. But those micro moments betray what her mind wants to protect. Finally, notice how she balances giving and withholding. She'll tease with attention, then pull back. She'll allow intimacy in conversation, then guard her vulnerability. This push-pull is her mind wrestling with desire and restraint. She wants connection deeply, but fears saying it aloud too soon. Understanding. This rhythm is key. It's her way of communicating longing without words, leaving clues for the man who's willing to observe carefully. If you can read these subtle signals, you're no longer guessing. You're seeing the truth that's always been there. She wants to give herself, but she's waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to earn the insight to meet her there. Now let's examine the moments when her desire is almost tangible, but still cloaked in hesitation. One of the most revealing signs is her subtle prioritization of you. She doesn't announce it. She doesn't say, "I'm choosing you," but she shifts her schedule, accommodates your plans, and invests her energy in ways that go unnoticed by anyone else. A woman who wants to give herself, even if she won't admit it, signals it through her actions. She's leaving invisible breadcrumbs that say, "You matter more than I let on." Another critical indicator is the way she touches her own body. When you're around, you might notice her playing with her hair, adjusting her clothes, or lightly brushing her skin. These gestures aren't random. They're subconscious cues of arousal and attention. Her body is revealing what her mind tries to hide. Men often overlook this because it's subtle, quiet, almost a whisper in her overall presence. But it's a whisper that carries truth. Observe how she responds to your stories, your vulnerabilities, and even your flaws. A woman interested in giving herself won't just listen passively. She'll remember, empathize, and sometimes challenge you, but always in a way that creates connection. She's gauging whether she can trust you with her inner world. Every question she asks, every shared smile, Every pause in conversation is her way of measuring if you're worthy of what she truly desires. Her eyes betray her, not just in the obvious moments, but in fleeting glances that drift to you when she thinks you're not paying attention. The way she looks briefly, then looks away, is loaded with unspoken tension. It's her mind struggling between wanting to step closer and holding herself back. These micro moments are easier to detect than words, but only if you're attuned. Only if you're present enough to notice the energy beneath the surface. Finally, notice her comfort with silence. She doesn't always need words to communicate. A woman ready to give herself can sit beside you without conversation, and it will feel intimate. She's testing if you can feel the connection without it being spelled out. That ease, that willingness to exist in the space with you, is one of the clearest signs of desire she'll never voice aloud. If you learn to read these behaviors, you stop guessing and start understanding. You see the unspoken truth she's leaving for you. She's ready, willing, but only if you can meet her at this unspoken level. She's signaling with every action, every glance, every pause, inviting you to step closer if you're perceptive enough to recognize it. Now let's uncover the signals that are almost too subtle, too intimate, yet speak louder than anything she could ever say. One of the most revealing signs is her emotional vulnerability around you. She may not confess her desire in words, but she shows cracks in her armor, moments when she laughs a little too freely, confides a fear, or shares a fleeting insecurity. These are not coincidences. She's quietly testing whether you can hold emotional space for her without judgment or pressure. Every small moment of vulnerability is her unspoken way of saying, I want closeness, but first I need to know you'll truly see me. Another subtle indicator appears in how she responds to your touch, even in the smallest forms. A brief brush of the hand, a hug that lingers a second longer than necessary, a gentle lean toward you when you're sitting side by side. These micro moments expose her subconscious pull toward you. She may hesitate or pull back at first, but the way her body reacts before her mind intervenes always reveals the deeper truth. Men often dismiss these gestures as coincidence, but they're deliberate, even if she's not consciously aware of it. Pay attention to her energy when she talks about intimacy in general, not just romantic or sexual, but emotional closeness. She may tease about relationships, curiosity about connection, or express admiration for emotional courage. This is her mind quietly searching for someone who can match her willingness to give herself emotionally, someone she can trust with both heart and body. She's evaluating, probing, and preparing, even if she'll never openly admit it. Then there's the subtle tension in her posture. When she's near you, her shoulders might lift slightly, her breathing changes, or her movement slow, almost as if time itself stretches. This is her body signaling readiness, even when her lips remain silent. It's a physiological confession that her desire exists, strong, urgent, restrained, but present nonetheless. Finally, observe how she lingers in your presence, even after the conversation ends, even when leaving seems easier. That hesitation, the quiet pause before stepping away, is her giving herself in fragments she hopes you'll notice. She's inviting connection without demanding it, leaving a space for you to claim it. If you're wise enough to see the opportunity, every glance, laugh, touch, and pause is intentional. Every micro behavior, every tiny shift is a confession of desire she refuses to speak aloud. If you can interpret these signals, you're not just seeing her, you're seeing the truth she's been silently offering all along. She's waiting for a man who notices what others overlook, someone capable of understanding without needing the words. She's leaving herself in fragments, hoping you'll piece them together. Finally, let's explore the ultimate signals. A combination of her behavior, energy, and subtle emotional cues that confirm she's ready to give herself, even if she won't say it. One of the most powerful indicators is the way she seeks your approval without asking for it directly. Notice how she checks your reaction when she shares an idea, tells a story, or makes a personal comment. She's searching for validation, not out of insecurity, but as a silent invitation. Her mind is testing whether you'll accept her fully without needing her to declare it. Another crucial sign is the way she makes herself slightly vulnerable in your presence. She may laugh at her own mistakes, admit a small flaw, or share a fleeting insecurity, but only with you. These are calculated risks she takes, revealing a deep trust and desire to connect. She's signaling that she's willing to let down her guard, but only if you respond with patience, understanding, and emotional intelligence. Hidden signs of desire. Her attention to your moods and needs is also revealing. She notices when you're quiet, when you're distracted, or when you need support, and she adjusts her behavior accordingly. A woman who wants to give herself is attuned to you in ways that feel almost invisible. She's showing that her desire isn't just physical, it's emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. She wants to intertwine her world with yours, but she's waiting for you to recognize the signs and meet her there. Then there's the tension in her silences. Pay attention to how long she stays in a room after a conversation, how often she glances your way without speaking, and the micro movements that happen when she thinks you're not noticing. These silences are loaded with meaning. They are the unsaid confessions of a woman who is trying to communicate desire without risking rejection. Every pause, every shift of weight, every fleeting look is a piece of her truth, waiting for a perceptive man to claim it. Finally, observe how she subtly creates opportunities to be near you. She positions herself close in social settings, initiates small conversations, and leaves space for shared moments. These actions are deliberate. She's willing to give herself in moments that may seem insignificant, but they are carefully measured steps toward intimacy. If you can see these signals, respond with understanding and respect, you'll unlock what she's been silently offering. She's leaving herself in fragments, testing if you can read her without needing her to speak. If you're attentive, patient, and wise, you'll see her desire in every glance, every touch, and every pause. And you'll understand a truth most men never notice. She's ready for you, even if she won't say it aloud. Thanks for watching. If you found like this video, please press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel, The Stoic Way. Thank you.